What up guys, Michael here, and today I'm going to go ahead and share with y'all some of the things I wish I knew when I was 21, starting to play poker for almost a career at that point, because I've been playing poker almost every day at this point. I am 21 in this video, so I'm currently 24, so this is just some of the stuff that I've learned along the way and wish I knew then. So number one is going to go ahead and be positional play. Playing in position, knowing when to fold out of position, knowing when to 3-bet in position and out of position. These are some of the stuff that I wish I knew playing poker. Another thing that I wish I knew was 3-betting, hand ranges, play the player, more exploitive style. I wish I took advantage of that and just learned some charts for tournaments, man, because I did play a tournament when I was 20. I ended up winning 8,000 for 5th place, but the pay jumps were really big, and I wish I didn't screw up in the tournament that I did play in. Like, this was a while ago, so but there are some stuff that I did faulty in the tournament that I wish I didn't do, looking back on it. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff that I wish I knew. Another one that's currently on my mind is question theory. It's something that I've been experimenting with. It's something that I've not heard anybody talk about, and from what I've guessed is, since I have made a video on question theory, it's like 7.5 minutes long. A lot of people seem to have liked it. It's gained like 3,000 or 3,200 views, so it's a really good video for me. I explain the process of how it works, but to give y'all just a little breakdown of how I've developed question theory is just basically strategic speech play, heads up. So usually this only happens when you are heads up in position. You're facing a bet or a shove, and you could ask a question like, hey, if I call, you want to run it twice? And usually the person that has draws or are not made are okay with variance, so they'll most likely say yeah, you know what I mean? And you could kind of bring it back and be like, and let's say you have the set on the board and you don't want the draws to come after they just announce that, yeah, let's run it twice. You could slowly bring it back and be nice about it. Nah, let's just run it once. And boom. That's how the whole experiment started extrapolating into like me exploiting them out of it, because it's forcing them to make a decision, because it determines the next card and the river, and they're okay with variance, which was super brand new to me. I have not heard anybody talk about it. No, there's no coaches, no courses, no pros, no books have not mentioned this. They usually just talk about physical tells, which is I've read into, but it's kind of mucky, and I don't really depend on that. I rather just depend on my own theory, which has been making me a lot of money. And another one that I wish I knew was, it's a different form. It's out of position, so it's usually you're out of position, heads up, so you're first to act, and you could ask the player, hey, if I bet 100, do you want to check it down? And then again, you could bring it back slowly and say, nah, it's okay, let's just play your hand, sorry. You could say that after they say, yeah, let's just check it down, and they're on a draw. They're most likely on a draw. They're not made. They don't want to. They're very scared to keep going and playing their hand. So that was just another thing that I've been learning along the way. Now you could also switch it up and reframe it. You could be like, hey, you want to bet 50 and want to check dark, or ask them, want to check dark, or play it out. Now, these are really, really exploitative strategic talking points when you're heads up, because I know asking direct questions like, hey, you have a flush? Hey, do you have a straight? These people are going to normally answer like sarcastically. They're going to shrug you off. But when you are almost interrogating them out of an answer information. Like, that's basically what my question theory comes all together and kind of pulls out information. It's a probe that you're like just moving around in them, and they don't know that there's a two-way conversation happening. Now, I really love this question theory that I've came up with. It's one of the coolest things I've ever came up with. It's something I wish I knew way back in the day, because I could have made a lot more money. And it helps you, instead of guessing, it narrows their hand range all the way down to a T. And man, it's so cool to like know now. I'm so happy that I've learned it. And that only comes with perfecting speech plays, is knowing when to ask the right questions. And I've been trying to reframe and maybe change it, because all I've been saying is if I call, if I bet, you know what I mean? And I want to switch it up and change it. Now, one of the things about that theory is you could build portfolios on players. So a regular is used to ask, or you're used to asking a regular that question. You run it 10 times with, let's just call him Nick. You run it 10 times with Nick, you can kind of see what kind of cards Nick will run it twice with, and you will see 10 times, or however many times he will run it once. Now, it works on fish players too. It works on new players, because new players are very open to your line of questions because they do not know how you play. So they'll be more open and inclined to like, yeah, let's run it twice. And that's when you slowly bring it back and be nice about it. And if you could just learn how to talk to these players, you can exploit them without them even knowing. But it's something I wish I knew. I'm glad I know it now. But looking back in some of these hands, man, I was just playing my heart out on these tables, because I was making ridiculous money. Number one thing that I wish I knew as well was bankroll management. When I made all this money, I made like 17K in like maybe a month and a half. I did something no poker player should do, and that is spin your poker bankroll and then try to go and win more money. You have to manage it. You have to be very efficient with it and know what kind of games you need to play. You don't want to punch above your weight level. And sometimes you can, but you don't want to do that. You want to stick to the grind. Maybe 1-2, 2-5s are really good. But when I used my poker bankroll for moving out, buying furniture, buying a bunch of stuff, that was like number one problem that I had to deal with. But as I went on, I did figure out that you could eventually make a lot of money by just knowing your variance of like win rate. So if you know that you win a lot, you don't want to be discouraged on not playing. You want to let the ups or the downswings go away, and you'll slowly start to build your bankroll from 0 to however much. Or you could save your money from like a $10,000 bankroll and then get into the 1-2s or 2-5s and see what you can do with it. Now, the video just ended, so I do want to say thank you for watching this video. And yeah, these are just some of the things that I wish I knew. Looking back on this video, super cool experience to look back on, and I appreciate y'all watching, and tune in for the next.